Hello and welcome to the DTF report. It is I, Dick Thunder Lips, your hostess with the mostest, and welcome, heroes of fantasy, as we enter the final week of playoff action, the final week of fantasy football. This is not the week to hold back. This is not the time. This is the time to shine, folks. This is the time to get your roids out, get them in the ace, and get them going, their little digital hearts, and let them explode all over the field in beautiful glory. Now, let's take a look at last week's action. Because you know nothing gets dick harder than a little action, baby. So let's take a look. This time we're going to go backwards-a-roo. Let's take a look at the Battle Royale. The teams that didn't quite make the top four but are battling it out to score as many points as possible. With the least points scored in the last 4 weeks having to pay to ship that £1,000 plated gold and silver title. Heroes of Fantasy Championship to pay for the cost of shipping it from Adrian to the new champion. And the winner also gets some simoleons. But let's take a look here as we start things off with pathetic CJ facing off with Aldo in this matchup that doesn't mean anything other than scoring. But for all intents and purposes, let's pretend like they're playing. Aldo loses again. Ha! Anyway, let's take a look here. CJ not putting up a pathetic performance with 125.7. Aldo, though, can't crack the century mark, and that's gonna sting. Might sting in the pocketbook, folks. Deshaun Watson did his duty. Alvin Kamara, you gotta hope for more. Sammy Watkins, is this dude even playing? And Jack Doyle, oh my gosh. Look at the Patriots putting down 21. Aldo with the empty bench. I don't know what he's doing. The dude's gotta get it in gear. He could be at least filling in the bench, make it seem like he's trying. Instead, maybe he's trying to emulate CJ, suck as much as he does. CJ on the other side, Josh Allen against a tougher man. Oh, he literally did 0.1 over his projection. That's adorable. Just like CJ, just the bare minimum. Silly bitch. Look at Jason Witten out doing everything. You got Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill with big days, and the Buccaneers D. Who knew that they dropped 17 on the Detroit Lions, folks? Some bench scoring to be had here with AP dropping 18. Rejuvenated, folks, but let's see. As these teams storm on, 1 week left. Gotta score a little better than that, Aldo. Come on. Meanwhile, Oscarito, the destroyer of the Battle Royal, continues to roll with a disappointing 144.1. That's compared to his 160s he's been scoring. 134 for Freddie, though. That's a big uptick. He's got to like what he sees there. Deploying Baker Mayfield over Matt Ryan cost the man some points on the board, but boy, oh boy, not playing that Vikings D for 28. That's got to sting. But let's take a look here. Shilling Shepard with 20 points. Mark Ingram, as much as he loves Lamar Jackson, trying to do his own dirty with 23.6 earlier in the week. And some solid performances all around, led by the feast of Ezekiel Elliott of 1,000 points, 1,031 against the porous Los Angeles Rams of Anaheim, or whatever they're called. Meanwhile, on Oscar's side, the destroyer of Battle Royals, 17 from Dak Prescott, 20 from Todd Gurley, who's suddenly a running back. Keenan Allen remembered he has a job. James White also thinks he's a running back. Robert Woods continues to be invisible, and despite him being shitty, Oscar even had a wide receiver on the bench do better than him. But look at Darius Slayton doing the dirty. Robbie Anderson with the post, and Tyler Higbee, Hardy to Digby. As long as he's the tight end, he's scoring crazy, folks. Taking the Oscarito right into the promised land, leading that ball charge, leading that Battle Royal, baby. As we continue on here, we'll take a look at those Battle Royale standings when we're all said and done here, folks. Al's Avengers in the Battle of the Couch, scoring 131.9. Look at Al go. Look at him try so hard. Meanwhile, the real Flash Gordon doing some deeds. Doing the deeds, folks. He didn't break the century mark. A little disappointing there. 99 points. Carson Wentz dropping 21. Aaron Jones with 17. And boy, by God, Miles Sanders thinking he's Barry Sanders dropping 35.2. But not much else doing, including a goose from Logan Thomas, the tight end of Detroit. I don't know what Steven was smoking there when guys like Tyler Higbee are in free agency. By God. Anywho, on L's side, you got Mitch the Bitch Trubisky dropping 16 in a tough L to the Packaroos. Saquon Barkley with 30 points, thinking that he's going to make up for his whole year in one shot. And then, boy, George Kittle dropping it like it's hot with 26, including Devontae Parker doesn't know he's a Dolphin and supposed to suck, dropping 23. This guy's been hot sauce for the stretch run, baby. But Randall Cobb, 0.7. What's going on? Julian Edelman. You gotta believe L's a believer that Julian Edelman's gonna deliver every week. Folks, this wasn't it. I don't know what happened. Dude's got injuries every week, but plays through them. Maybe Tom Brady gave him the week off. Let's keep this ball rolling as we take the other half of Couchgate, folks. Cristal's forces female, 142. And Matt Segovia heard me last week when he dropped the poorest 60. He'd more than doubled it this week, folks, with 132 points. A hot performance from Matt when he needs it the most. Russell Wilson with 19 points. Sees Lamar Jackson, he's jealous. Julio Jones went from almost not playing to scoring 38. 20 points from Darren Waller. And you don't like what you see from the rest of the squad, but you got Mahomes on the bench for 22. Matt's just not, I don't know why he's not playing Patrick Mahomes. I guess, whatever, man. Maybe he was drinking. Tom Brady, Honey McNaughty with only 12 points. Cristal just running with the GOAT as long as she can, but the dude's barely got a pulse. But it's alright, because Mac attack more than counts for a quarterback and a running back in one. See, when he scores 37.5, like it's nothing, folks. That's just like a weekly average. He's gross. LaShawn McCoy dropping a point, because that's what he do. 20 points for Chris Conley. Who the F is that in Jacksonville? Receiver number 37 on their team, dropping 20. Who's it going to be next week? A.J. Brown, meanwhile, loving the Tannehill as he drops 25 and 16 from the cup. Fill it, run it over. The Rams might suck, but Cooper still gets his cups, folks. Still scoring, and Cristal looking good. Zack as we move on, 107 and only 91.5 for Babalu. Death by Sanu. Dick's got a frog in his throat the size of Sanu, folks. Look at Muhammad Sanu continue to suck. How's that, Babalu? What happened to this dude being great? Yeah, that's what I thought. He's a piece of poop, folks. Edelman didn't do shite, and neither did Sanu. What's wrong with the Patriots? Well, I'll tell you what's not wrong with Drew Brees, baby. Record-breaking machine, dropping 28 for Bob, 25 from Kelsey, and 14 from Marquise Brown, and not much else to hoot about. Other than the bench, not trusting Anthony Miller, 26.8. By God, does he know he's a bear? And James Conner, for some reason, chilling on the bench, dropping 15. Oh, Babalu, what are you doing? Meanwhile, Zachary with 16 from Murray and 18 from a resurgent Joe Mixon. This man loves Andy Dalton, baby. He's back. Mixon thinks he's an RB again. Amari Cooper disappeared. Ezekiel Elliott said, I'm going to run this entire game. All 44 points are mine in this Cowboys game. Amari Cooper, you don't get shit. I don't know how Dak Prescott got points, because Amari Cooper didn't do anything. Gallup didn't do anything. Randall Cobb didn't do anything. Witten barely did anything. I don't even know what that means, folks. Did he throw to the kicker? Anyway, Cowboys suck. That's all there is to it. Michael Thomas with 30 points continues to be red hot. And who in the blue hell plays the Rams defense against the Dallas Cowboys? Zack does, baby. And luckily we don't go negative here. So I guess it's like not playing a defense at all. Zack, you suck. Pick it up. You're looking like CJ all of a sudden. Gah, swear. We'll take a look at the Battle Royale standings in a minute. But for now, let's take a look at the third place game, baby. It's week 1 of a 2-week matchup. And we have Adrian, the former rating defending undisputed champion of Heroes of Fantasy, who's now playing for third place and a little back pat against Danny Boy. Sorry about your damn luck, and sorry about your damn luck. Adrian, you may have had a decent week, but Danny Boy's out in front. a $139 to your 120.1. Almost a 20-point lead going into the second half, baby. Danny Boy deploying Eli Manning like it's 2004. And he performed just like it's 2004. Eli still sucks. 13 points, even though it was against Miami. 10 points from Le'Veon Bell. Still better than Mohamed Sanu. Jesus, swear. 13 from Eckler. I don't even know what's going on besides DJ Moore doing the dirty with 20. Terry McLaurin. Scary Terry dropping 24 like he's good again. And more importantly, Brashad Perryman trying to carry old Danny Boy's squad with 34.6. And what has to be the hottest free agent pickup in a little while besides Mr. Higbee this week at tight end. Some hot pickups, folks. This is why you don't stop picking up players. Get good. Gosh, you're supposed to be heroes of fantasy, not whatever you shitty players are. Don't be like CJ, folks. Don't be like CJ. 14 points for the big cheese as Adrian's big train continues to poop all over his chest. Leonard Fournette, disappointing. Devin Singletary, disappointing. I mean, what do you expect, folks? Luckily, you got some decent performances across the board. From D-Hop, Metcalf, Andrews, and Samuel and Hyde, as he seemed to avoid the potholes of his bench and navigate to a decent score overall, despite his shortcomings. These two will clash one more time for third place. Who will be the shittiest of the playoff teams? We'll find out next week. Now, the matchup of matchups, the championship game, week 1, was a bit disappointing. You see, the man, Rick Heron himself, dropped 99.6, and yeah, not great compared to some other teams popping off this week. But boy, oh boy, let me tell you, Jay Sizzle, Hot Chub Time Machine, must have used his time machine to go to the future to determine exactly what players were going to drop their hot nuts all over Ricky G this week, because that's exactly what happened, folks. J-Sex saved what is the highest scoring week Daddy's ever seen in quite a while for the biggest game of the year, baby. J-Sex wanted it. He tasted it. Those nuts were salty. Lamar Jackson, 37. Nick Chubb, 23. Allen Robinson, 19. And the big D himself, Kenyon Drake, just shoved that salty 39.6. Where have you been all my life? Points down Ricardo's throat as Jay Sizzle's looking as hot as can be. And dude, what does it even mean? I guess he's a shitty time machine. He's got 27 points from Crowder on the bench. Crowder on the bench. By God, J-Sex could have scored 3 million points in this matchup. On the other side, Ryan Tannehill dropped a respectable 24, despite Jameis Winston scoring 32 with a broken freaking hand. Who the hell saw that coming? Dude couldn't even hold a football, throwing tennis balls on Thursday, dropping bombs on Sunday. By God, hell in a handbasket. Tony Pollard, 22 on the bench, because the Cowboys scored a bajillion on the ground. But that's alright, because he always got 26 from Carson. Dalvin Cook got hurt in the game, only scoring 7. But only a true madman would have benched him for Pollard, folks. Godwin also got hurt in the game, and not before dropping 17. Tyler Boyd not liking Dalton as much as Joe Mixon is, baby. Not doing much against that New England D. Speaking of big D's, not much else to hoot about other than the 12 the Chiefs dropped against the Denver Broncos. Disappointing week for the Chief. Ricky G scoring only 99. It's going to be a tough climb back in the second leg of this championship game, but folks, anything can happen. We've seen juggernauts drop 60s and 50s of poorest days. If Jay Sizzle drops a turd boner of a day, and Ricky G pulls off this 200 like J-Sex did, we might have a ball game, folks. You see, anything can happen in fantasy football. Keep the dream alive, keep pushing. And before I lead you, I'll do. Let's take a look at those Battle Royale standings going into the final week. And as you'll see, Oscarito the Professor, 482.2. I don't even know what that means, folks. The dude scored almost 500 points in 3 weeks. That's way more than he should have. He's got over 100 more than second place. It's going to be tough You're going to have a J-Sex kind of day to overtake Oscarito. Anything could happen. Keep the dream alive. Oscar's marching straight to that Battle Royale crown. CJ sucks, but he's on his heels. Cristal with 362 and only a point behind is Zack. And only few points behind that is Al. Al and Cristal neck and neck in Couchgate, baby. Who's gonna sleep on the couch this year? Cristal? Al. One person seems to know what they're doing and is getting unlucky. The other just sucks. We'll see who's on the couch, folks. Stay tuned as Couchgate rolls on. Steven now more right in the thick of the pack, but at risk, baby. Don't forget, last place pays for shipping for the belt. Aldo with 283.4, and not much padding between him and Babaru, Matt Segovia, and hey, Freddy too. With a shitty enough day in this final week, you might find yourself a little lighter in the wallet, folks. So do your best to score as much as you can. Aldo, get your ass in gear. Pick up some dudes. I mean, if you would have picked up the dudes that we are picking up, you would have scored like 300 points, man. Anyway. It's been a long road, folks. There's only 1 week left, and then you can hang up your fantasy boots for the rest of the year until next year, folks. For now, be heroes. Be the heroes of fantasy Dick needs you to be. Stand tall like Dick likes to, and for now, folks, Dick's up, baby.